Zach, let's shift gears to something a little more silly as we delve. Let's
bring it back up a little bit.
Yeah. Let's get out of the racial thing and let's get into something that's more maybe a little more silly here. Louisiana Catholic priest, 37, is arrested for recording himself having a threesome with 2 dominatrices on the church altar. Reverend Travis Clark. The story's in Daily Mail. Get a look. We'll pull the picture of this guy. He's a piece of work. I like the part in the middle.
Oh yeah,
with the fluff. That's
all
classic.
3 of them. All the headshots of all 3 of them involved. They all look like the one kind of looks like Marilyn Manson.
The girl. Yeah,
the one girl kind of looks like Marilyn Manson. The other one, and which makes sense since the one quote was like, "We're going to defile a house of God" or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, this is yes. So we got one is was an adult film actress, and another one is just just, I don't know, 23-year-old. Doesn't say what she does, but she's a dominatrix. Says both women were charged with obscenity. Now, I don't see, was he charged? Oh, yeah, he was as well. Okay, yes. That was just a caption under the picture. So basically what they did was they decided they were going to have a little bit of fun out there in the altar. They were recording her on the phone. They were having sex and just doing some really kinky stuff. Somebody had peeked into the window apparently or saw it or something and then took video of it and then notified the church and the police and they were all arrested. Wow, this guy's hair is really something else. No, this looks like this looks like a picture from like 1986 or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Who has this hair now?
I know, man.
I'm sorry to get on the hair,
it's
but
2020, not 1920.
Yeah, so the passerby, so they looked, the witnesses looked inside and said having Clark, okay, so the women were dressed in corsets and wearing high-heeled boots. What do you think of that?
Corsets and high-heeled boots? In church? Well, I mean, they did a lot worse in that church than just wearing corsets and high-heeled boots.
Yeah, and they even went. This wasn't. See, I wonder, were they filming a porn? Because one of the actresses was a porn actress, and it also says here they had stage lighting, sex toys, and a cell phone on a tripod. Were said so they were. It seemed like this was a real production, Zach.
That that's like a setup story for like a porno. Two bad sinful girls go into a church to confess their sins to the priest.
Yeah, and then dominate him.
Yeah.
So you don't need. So like he's thinking, well, we don't have to hire somebody to pretend to be a priest. I've already got the outfit. I've got the church. Let's just do this all right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we don't have to waste money on props and sets.
Yeah. Interesting thing here. I'm not a Catholic, so I don't know how this works. But they had to. Basically, the altar was defiled. Based on what the 3 were doing. So the Archbishop of New Orleans Archdiocese visited the church to perform a ritual to restore the sanctity of the altar, which is of course a sacred space. Have you ever
just like throw some holy water on it and like call it a day?
I mean, I've never seen.
Knowing the Catholics, they'll just tell the priest to like say like 20 Hail Marys and he'll be back to preaching again tomorrow.
Yes. Filth. I remove you or something.
Yeah. I was reading this article and all I could think was like, oh my God, could you imagine if he didn't get caught and he like left some shit on the altar? There was a quote that said the altar was adorned with stage lighting, several sex toys, a cell phone mounted on a tripod, recording the act. Like, could you imagine if like he like didn't clean everything up and it's like church service on Sunday and like the altar boy is like going to light the candles and he sees this like big fat dildo just like sitting on the altar and like starts screaming and like running away.
or like a dildo rolls down the altar.
Or like he says sex toys. Maybe they were using the cellmate male chastity belt we talked about last week, and he gets like locked in it or something like that.
Yeah, maybe they were caught because they were having trouble using the Bluetooth. It was they were just kind of like wasting too much time trying to get that thing open. That's good. See how everything connects, Zach?
Yeah, my thing is just like this 2020 is like bad enough, and now you're gonna like piss off God. Like, come on, guys. Like,
yeah. Could you imagine if you went to this church? I mean, would you keep going? Or would you just be like, you know what, this is too weird for me?
Personally, no, I wouldn't keep going. Will people still go? 100%. I mean, how many people still go to the Catholic church, the Catholic churches where the priest was like molesting kids.
That's true. Sometimes maybe even in the same exact place, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, when I was reading this article, I'm like, this is bad, but this is kind of like not the worst thing that the church has ever done. Far from it. So
that's true. I guess at minimum, this was all consensual, right? And they were all adults.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't do anything illegal. Ethically, it was a little fucked up. Couldn't have got a hotel room, but.
So that's in fact, by the way, the man has been removed as a priest. I think that's clear.
Oh, yeah.
In case anyone was wondering about that. But as you said, now they were all charged with some kind of an obscenity crime. So you were suggesting maybe nothing was done illegally, and in fact, that's the argument of the lawyers, particularly for the two women. So it's regrettable that they're being presented to the world as criminals, when in fact they've done nothing wrong. The fact that this involved a priest and took place in a church is completely irrelevant. The only pertinent question is if it took place in view of the public. Clearly, this is not the case. The evidence show that an individual had to enter the church's private property to look through a window to see what was taking place. By definition, then, it was not in the public view. So you agree with that?
It's private property. Churches are private property.
But it's private property that's open to the public.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not just like you can come and go to. I think that's up to the discretion of who runs the church.
Isn't a store like a store? I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
No, yeah, it is. I mean, it's exactly like a store. It's private property. This isn't.
So what if someone was in a grocery store and they start filming a porno?
Well, that's in the view of the public, right?
Yeah. Now somebody saw it.
Yeah, but they weren't supposed to be there. It was closed. It wasn't like an open store. It wasn't like this happened in the middle of Sunday service.
So let's say you're not a grocery store. Let's say you go to some shop that you have to drive into a driveway to get to, so they can do whatever they want inside.
Wait, what?
Okay, so say like I'm trying to think of an example. So I used one of a grocery store. Maybe that's not quite analogous, but let's say it's I don't know, vacuum repair shop.
Okay, so there's a vacuum repair shop.
And it sits on a property, and you have to drive. It's not within a plaza or something like that, right? So you have to drive into it. Now, if you're going into the vacuum repair shop, you see some weird stuff going on inside. Is that okay to do for the people?
Well,
inside?
I guess it depends on where they're doing it. Are they doing it like in the front glass where everyone can see them?
Yeah. Now this is on the altar, so I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where this goes. I don't know what obscenity means, so. In terms of like legally, I guess,
look, I don't want to say it's not fucked up. It's really fucked up.
Yeah,
it's ethically. It's just like they were on private. They were. It comes down to an issue of the church and what the archdiocese does about it. They hired the wrong guy to be a priest. Clearly, he's fucked up, right?
And it's curious too. When maybe I think maybe time of day might be important. If this was like 9 a.m, I would say.
Yeah, if this was a Sunday service, if it was like Sunday at 10 and like church is starting in a half hour and like a woman walks in because the doors are open or something like that, then like dude, if it's like after hours at like your place of business and you like, if you're the boss and you come in and you see one of your employees like having this crazy satanic threesome in the middle of your company. Right? It's after hours. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're going to be fired, but are they going to be arrested? Like, no, it's private property. It's just they're not supposed to be there doing what they're doing, but.
Yeah. So, all right. I think you made a persuasive case. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah. I mean, clearly, I agree 100% on that actually. So great job there.